guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, today I'm here with a new card for you. This features a sneak peek of the Rainbow of Happiness bundle along with the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP that's part of Sale-A-Bration. And both of these start January 4th, 2022. And these are also going to be featured in my first online class for 2022. And I will tell you about the class and how to make this card in this video, so keep watching. Now, if you'd like to stamp along with me, just look down in that video description below and click on that blog post link, and that will show you everything that you need to get together, all your supplies and the dimensions for all the cardstock and paper. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first to cover my Rainbow of Happiness online class, there are 3 different options, and the first option is the complete class. And with the complete class, you get the bundle, the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, so it makes it really easy to line these up to make your rainbow. And I'll show you that in the card here in a few minutes. You also will get the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. There are 3 different sizes. And I wish you could see how pretty these are in person. I'm sure the video is not doing it justice. And when you move them, they kind of change color because they've got that really neat iridescent look. I love them. Then there's also a 1/8 inch cotton ribbon pack that's also in the January to June mini. Comes in Misty Moonlight and Petal Pink, and you'll get both of these in the pack. And we've also got the Rainbow Glimmer paper. This is in the annual catalog. And I'm going to cut them down. You'll get 12 by 6 pieces of this. Now, I want to also show you something that you're going to get absolutely free with the complete class, and that is the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP. This paper is free with the $50 order. And you also can get it, we'll get it free if you get this class. So here's this design. I'm going to turn it over real quick because my camera does not like that design. There we go. When I tried to do it earlier, it started jumping up and down on me. Then we've got this one. I think it's something to do with those little stripes. This, because it's doing just fine with the other images. Very strange. Then we've got this one. Now this one, if you see the cloud punch, this one is really easy to miss in the January to June mini. But this cloud punch will punch these clouds out. Isn't that cool? Love that. And we've got this side. Another stripe. I love the colors in this. This one. And I'll tell you what, I'll list all the colors below because I'm afraid I'm going to forget at least one of them. Then we've got this one. This one. So you get 4 of each design, and there are 12 designs altogether, and it is a 6 by 6 pack. Don't you just love those rainbows? And this one can be die cut with one of the dies, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in the video too. This one, and then this one. So you get all of those products plus the cardstock and any other embellishments that are used. You'll have to have your own ink pads, and I'll make a list of all of that. Just click on my online class link below in the video description to find out the things that you need. And then I'll supply everything else. So let's go ahead and get started with the card. Okay, now the stamps that you need, you're going to need the 3 smaller arches. And you're also going to need the You Make Me Happy and the You Make This World a Better Place. So those are the stamps that you need. And with the dies, you're going to need this one here. And this one here. And we're going to use the largest of the cloud dies and this double one right here. So those are all the dies that we'll need. I'm also using another die set. This is called Tailor Made Tags Dies. It's not available right now as I do the video, but I'm sure it'll be available here soon. I think it's sometime in January they'll be back. But I'm using this set. I'm using the largest die and the second smallest die. Okay, first off, let's get some stamping done. So you need to grab a piece of So Saffron. This is the 3 by 1.5 inch piece. Your Bermuda Bay ink pad and the You Make Me Happy stamp. And we'll stamp that close to the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to die cut it out. So put this right along the center. If it's not straight, I'm not going to worry about that either. There we go. So that we'll put to the side to die cut later. Then we'll grab one of the 4 by 5.25 inch pieces of basic white. And I want to grab the Magenta Madness ink pad and the largest arch stamp, not die. We will stamp this, and we're going to put it in the bottom left corner, like so. And then I'm going to take my Mango Melody and the medium size arch. Now the trick with this, I'm going to try to line the bottom here with the bottom of these. Let me stand up here so I can get a better look at this. That looks pretty good. Now if I can do this in a video, you can do it while you're working, because you can get right over what you're working on. I'm kind of at an angle and I don't want you to have to see my head as I'm doing this. I'm going to grab my Bermuda Bay ink pad and the smallest arch, line those bottom edges together and get it centered in between that yellow arch. There we go. And it does not have to be perfect. That's actually the look you're going for. And I'm going to keep my Bermuda Bay out and use the You Make This World a Better Place stamp. And I'm actually going to stamp this down here. It's kind of small. That way it gives you room to write something else down and your name. So that is the inside of the card. So that's all the stamping we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get our die cutting machine out. Okay, to get the Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine ready for die cutting, you need the base platform number 1, the die plate number 2, and then you need a standard cutting plate number 3. Go ahead and put that down. Let's go ahead and grab our You Make Me Happy. And I'm going to grab the smallest tag, and I want to have the little hole to be here on the left. So put this here. I'm going to grab my Post-it tape. I found this on Amazon in case you haven't heard of it. Well, I'm going to kind of put that where the hole is going to be punched out, right there next to my Y and my U. I'm going to use 2 pieces here, just so it doesn't move on me. I'll put one down here too, I think. Okay, I'm going to also grab, because we can do 2 things here at the same time. This is Magenta Madness. This is 5 1/4 by 3/4. I'm going to grab this border die. Now the neat thing about this die, this top straight edge does not have a blade. So it's only going to, so I can make this as wide as I want it. I'm going to use 2 pieces again. So let's get this line straight again. Hopefully you'll be able to, I'll get my hand out of the way here in just a minute so you can see how I'm getting this anchored. I can put one right here on the end and right here on the end. So you can see how this looks straight here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we're going to be hiding this part underneath our designer series paper. Let's go ahead and grab the standard cutting plate. Put the one on top and run it through. And you are going to love how this border die cuts. First, let's go ahead and get this one out. I need that tape here in a minute. So, but I love the Post-it tape because it doesn't tear up the cardstock. So we've got this tag here. And as you can see, this You Make Me Happy does fit in the tag. When you first just get it centered as well as you can, and it'll die cut with no problem. Let's go ahead and get this tape off of this one. You can see the little pieces already coming off. This off. Take this out. Look, I only have a couple pieces I need to take out. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Okay, let's go ahead and get these little pieces off. Okay, now we're going to get this back over again, get it set up like we had before. And I'm going to take a piece of the designer series paper, these rainbows here, and I'm going to cut just a little square. I'm not cutting it out perfectly. I'm just going around here like this because I don't want to lose some of these rainbows. So there we go. I've got one cut out here. And I can use that partial one. You can have a little half arch. So don't throw that away. You can definitely use that. And now the trick of here, let me see if I can grab it here. It's underneath all my other dies. We've got this die here. The blade is right along here. It's inside a little bit, but these little openings are right in between the center of each blade. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down here, have it raised up a little bit. Hopefully I can show you this. I'm kind of looking at these little openings, and I want them to kind of be in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect because these colors are definitely wider than what they need to be. Just get it kind of centered between each of the color arches, and bring it down till you can't see any color underneath the die, and nothing on the top either or the sides. Okay, just make sure you see each color in each opening right there. Put this here. We will run this through. Actually, let's run some more things through. I forgot about my clouds here. So get both of the cloud dies I had you get out. And a piece of basic white. This is a 3x1 inch piece, but you can just grab any scrap that'll work. So put the cloud here. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about putting tape on those because I just need them to stay within the white paper. It's okay if they move a little bit. I can't wait to show you this arch. Look at, you can already tell by looking at this. See how perfectly that cut that out? So yep, it all came out. And then I will show you the negative. Let's get the tape off of here first. There's the pink one. But because they're a little wider than they need to be, so you can tell I didn't get it perfectly centered. It's no big deal. They give you a little room there. So that's the easy way of getting all those colors out. And then get our little clouds together here. So we'll need all three of them. Okay, we have one more thing to die cut. I want you to grab a piece of that Sunshine Rainbows DSP. It's 2x4 inch. And then I want you to grab that largest tag that we got out earlier from the Tailor Made tags. We're going to put this right here in the center. Now I know the tag barely fits there, but a 2x4, that makes it a lot easier to be able to get multiples and not have any scraps with your paper. Put that through. And here we've got our tag. So we've got all the die cutting done, so let's go ahead and finish this card. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the card base. This is a soft seafoam piece that's 5.5 by 8.5. We'll match those corners up like so. Grab our bone folder and get that crease made for our card. Okay, now I want you to take that last piece of basic white, 4 by 5.25, and grab a piece of that Sunshine and Rainbows DSP. This is a 2 inch by 5.25 inch piece. Now we are going to turn this over. And when you turn it over, you want to look along the left side here. That is the side that we want to put the adhesive. I know that seems opposite. You'll understand that here in a minute because once you turn it back over, we've got it back over here because this is where we're going to put that border if you remember what my card looked like. So let's grab that border. I'm going to line the bottom edge of the DSP with the bottom edge of the border. Do this straight. I'm leaving a little bit of a straight edge here. And we've got that all ready to go. Now we'll go ahead and turn this over. I'm going to put adhesive along that straight edge of the border. And then the rest of it's going to go on that DSP. Now when I say DSP, in case you don't know, that's Designer Series Paper is what that stands for. We're going to put this on the left side. And I find it easier to put it this way to get it lined up. Lining the edges of the DSP with the edges of the basic white. And it looks like I might have cut some things a little bit too long. Yep, I've got some hanging here. This might be too short, but we'll make it work. We'll go ahead and cut this off. There we go. So if that happens to you, that's what you can do. And we'll go ahead and attach this to the card base. So get some adhesive on here. I'll put it right there in the center. That worked out just fine. Okay, now let's grab that DSP tag that we made. You can use whichever side you want. This one, of course, I don't want my upside down rainbows, but I thought that was too busy anyway, so that's why I'm going to use this side. I'm going to grab my adhesive and just put some right across the bottom, a couple here in the center, and we will put this right about here. Okay. Push that down. And now I'm going to bring in those rainbow arches that we did. And you can use mini glue dots, but I think it's a little easier to use multi-purpose glue. So I'm going to bring in my silicone craft mat. Turn this over. I'm going to start with the larger one. And just put a little strip right across here. It doesn't have to be very thick. You actually don't want it very thick. Now it looks like I got a little too much of a glob there. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to turn this over and take a little bit and put it on my silicone mat. That way it doesn't glob too much. And later when that dries, I can take it off. It'll peel off real easy once it's dry. I'm going to make sure I don't put my card there in the glue. And then this is going to be centered right here near the top of the tag. Okay, try to make it so these are kind of straight. And then we will take the yellow one, do the same thing. Boy, my glue is really running out a little bit today. That's okay. I was able to get that glob a little smaller, so I don't think I need to put it on the silicone mat this time. Except I do have one right there. There we go. I love the silicone mat. Comes in really handy. And then we're going to put this right here, line those bottom edges, kind of like what we did when we stamped in for the inside of the card. And like I said, though, they don't have to be perfect. They're actually made to where they don't need to be perfect. Then we'll take the green arch. And you can start with a smaller one if you like, but I started with the big one just so I know the placement for the top of the tag. I didn't want to start with the bottom and then be up too high and then cover up my hole there, because we're going to put a pretty little ribbon bow right there. Then we've got this one. Okay. And then last but not least, our little Bermuda Bay. I'm getting a little glue on my fingers. There we go. Turn this over and put it right in the middle. Like I said, you can use mini glue dots if you'd like to do that. I kind of like using glue with this because it has a little leeway before it dries. So you can kind of scoot it a little bit like I just had to with that Bermuda Bay one to get it lined up. So there, now we've got our rainbow ready to go. Let's grab those clouds. We need all three of them. Oops. Don't need that little strip. Now I'm going to bring my I forgot, I'm going to bring this silicone craft mat back in. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my clear Wink of Stella. Now when you work with a clear Wink of Stella, you want to shake it up. That way the glitter that's inside will not be all the way at the bottom. And then you might have to squeeze a little bit out. I'm going to see if this works without doing that. Nope, it does look like I need to squeeze a little bit. And I'm going to color over these. It's probably not going to show up on my screen at all. Let me bring this up. See if I can, they are sparkling. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But I wanted my clouds not to just look white. I wanted them to have some sparkle. So I'm just covering it up completely. Just squeeze out a little more if you need to. And I do believe I've got them covered pretty good. Now, the neat thing about Wink of Stella is that it dries very fast. So I'm just going to move these over, and we will put those on in just a second. I'm going to let them air dry for just a few seconds. Let's go ahead and grab that last tag that we made. Boy, this little piece wants to get on my card bad. You make me happy, and I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab one, put one on each end, and let's go ahead and put one on the middle just so it doesn't cave in the middle. Grab my Take Your Pick tool. Take these off. And then this is going to go along the bottom edge here. I'm going to kind of center it over the tag left and right. There we go. We've got that on there. And let's go ahead and grab these guys. The larger of my clouds, I'm just going to put it on. Oh, take that back. The larger one I am going to use dimensionals. I had to look at my card, almost forgot. So we'll just put one right here in the middle. And this one is going to go on the bottom. Make sure your Wink of Stella is facing up along the bottom of my rainbow, right on the bottom edge. And then I'm going to just take one of these, doesn't matter which one. The first one I'm going to put on with regular adhesive. And you could also use a glue dot. And I'm going to put this one here on the right side, right there. So we've got some not covered up for the rainbow, so we're going to use this other one. This one I want to pop up again like I did with the first one. So we will put this right here in the middle, and you know what? That might be a little too big. So what we're going to do, you can use a mini glue dot, or I like to use my borders here. Let's see, looks like I used all those. Let's grab one from down here. So while they're still on the paper backing, I'm going to cut it. And then I can put this little half one there. No problem. Now I don't have to worry about it showing on the outside. I'll take that off. And then this is going to go right here. Like so. So we are almost done with the front. It needed a little more. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab a piece of that 1/8 inch cotton ribbon I showed you earlier. This is a petal pink piece, and it's a 6-inch piece. And we're going to tie this in a little bow. Now, if you're right-handed, start on the left side. Do the opposite if you're left-handed. And tie your bow like so. And I think this, being cotton ribbon, it's nice and soft and easy to work with. And I think it's one of the easier ribbons to tie a bow. Just keep playing around with it, making it smaller if you need to. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my glue dots. I could have threaded it through the hole, but I think it's easier to tie a bow like this and pop it on with the glue dot. Sometimes it gets cumbersome trying to put it through here, and your bow ends up going all these different directions, and you just can't make it look right. So I'm going to put it right over that hole so it looks like it's actually going through the hole. There we go. Then I'm going to grab my scissors and trim those ends. And I think it's easier to trim the ends once you get the ribbon or the bow attached. The bow's small enough, it's kind of hard to hold on to. It's a little easier to do it once you've got it on there. Now that bow helps it, but we need some more. So let's grab those iridescent rhinestones. I'm going to grab my petty side of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put one of the largest ones right here and cover up that little hole. I could have put another piece of ribbon on there, but I thought it looked neat having one of the rhinestones there. Now I'm going to take one of the medium-sized ones, and I'm going to put it up here. And let's grab a little small one and put it right here. Now, if you want to add more, you go right ahead. The rule is usually to use an odd number, so that's why I just used the 3. So we've got the outside all done. Isn't that cute? I love this rainbow set. Now we're going to open this up. Let's grab that inside piece that we just stamped a few minutes ago. Put this on the inside, and we are going to be done with this card. Now, this card is not one of the ones in the class. You will get 4 cards, though. At least one of them will be a fun fold card. And there you go. So you'll get the supplies to make all 4 cards. Except, of course, the ink pads. Like I told you, you'll have a list of the additional things you need to have on hand. And you'll get all the products I showed you at the beginning of the video. You can rewind back to see those. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you'd like to stamp with me again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel below and click on that little bell icon that pops up and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And I'd love to send out the current catalogs that are available right now. Your first set from me that you would get for free. This is the annual catalog. This is the January to June mini catalog where most of the products I used are in. And then that Sale-A-Bration paper, the rainbow paper, this came from out of here. And you get free items for every $50 that you spend before shipping and tax during January and February, starting January 4th. So I'll be happy to mail these out to you. Just click that contact me link below in the video description and give me your mailing address, and I'll send your first copies out for free. So that's if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own. So let's go ahead and look at the card one more time. I hope you had fun making this card. I sure did. And please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up or commenting below. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.